Good afternoon, Adita. How
Hello,
are
good
you today?
afternoon.
Great to see you.
Nice to see you too. How do you do today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself? Good
Amazing,
weekend?
amazing. It's afternoon. Yes, it's beautiful day today. Wow, it's not raining today. Can you imagine?
No, in England? Yeah, that's pretty
That's
rare.
amazing. Oh,
It's sunny here too. Blue skies. Well, happy Monday.
happy
And
Monday.
for you all that are just tuning in, maybe for the first time, Adita and I are both certified John Maxwell leadership speaker, trainer, disc consultants, and we do a couple other things as well. But here we're talking to you today about the book Leader Shift. We're on chapter 11, Train Leaders to Transformational Leaders, and this is the impact shift. So the one thing I'll tell you is that trained leaders have one kind of mindset, but transformational leaders think differently. Let me just read you a quote real quick. If your actions inspire people to dream more, learn more, and do more, and become more, then you are a transformational leader. So the key in this chapter is not only making sure that you're confident and up to date and trained, but you're bringing people along with you so that they can then move on into leadership positions and then bring other people on with them. Right. So it's like, the Doublemint twins. You tell two people and then they tell two people and so on and so on. That's kind of how it's supposed to work for transformation. So Dita's going to talk about a few things about the difference between trained leaders and transformational leaders. But the one thing I just want you to think about as she's talking about those is that organizations, as Dave Ramsey said, organizations are not limited by their opportunity. They're actually limited by their leader. So if their leader doesn't have a transformational mindset, then the organization is going to be, the leader creates the lid. So the organization is going to be stuck. So unless they're moving and bringing fresh people in and training them, the organization is not going to expand, flourish, and actually it's probably going to end up going backwards. So anyway, Adita, what are your thoughts on this chapter, the impact
Yes,
shift?
and that's what you just said. I saw I like this quote as well because how many times the leader do not see that this is very crucial, very important part.
Mm-hmm.
It's the role is up to them. So that's why it's important to be aware. But what I like in this is I like the 5 actions that transformation leaders do, and what I believe also in life, the key to success is transformation. And I'm within this journey for a while, and I notice myself many times doing lots of things, trying, and I know others do the same. And actually, I never could succeed. And I know why, because I have to transform myself first. I cannot do anything without this part. That's why this chapter is for me the best chapter so far. I said it before, but this one is really best. My
Okay.
favorite, because we have to transform ourselves first and then show it, and then people will follow. That's how it is. They will not follow, we will grow others, and that's what it's all about. And I think there are 5 things, as I mentioned, 5 action that transformation leaders has to do, and one of them is see things that others do not see. So most people see the problem and they ask why. Transformational leaders see the problem, and they see, and they say that this things could be, and they're saying why not. If things happens, they say why not, and try to
Mm-hmm.
figure out. So that's the first important part. And um, that's what you just said about this quote goes very well with that, because it's up to leader. And if there's a transformation leader, this will be that's part will be solved. The other thing, this is not this a leader. Before I go to the other part, this is a leader responsibility to see the problem. It is, but also find the solution, solve the problem. So not only see the problem, but also find the solution to solve the problem. And that's what transformation leader would do. The other part is leaders, transformational leaders, say things others do not say. And that's the question for yourself. Ask yourself, what do you say, what others say, or what you say? Is there anything that you say that others would not dare to say it? Because transformational leader, they become they become voice of other people's. It does make sense because they say it
Mm-hmm.
first, and then the other people will say it after. And that's the simple difference between them. Uh, and also another thing, why when it, just think about when you did something like that, because sometimes it's very difficult, because when we say some things others don't say, when we see something others don't see, we feel that we will be challenged by others or will be criticized. But that's transformational leaders will go with it no matter what, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also very important that transformation leaders believe in things that others do not believe. And transformational leaders, they're like belief magnets, and they attract people because of their beliefs. They attract people to them, and that's what is so important. That's why they believe, and that's why they have people around them, because they like magnet, and we know what magnet does, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or do. And also, transformational leaders feel things others do not feel. And what is here important, you have to understand and care for your people around you. You have to have a feelings for them. You have to. We all have to. Not we have. You have to. No, no, no. We all have to. If we are transformational leaders, that's what we have to do. We have to have feelings for others and care for others. And when the light is turned on in your life, that's mean we won't then turn this light on other people. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why this part is very important. So we have to feel things. And other thing that we have to do, the last thing, is do things others do not do. And transformational leaders are intentional, and they do things that other would not even imagine to do, but they just go for it. And I like those things. Why I brought those things up, because I think before we start helping others, before we can even dare to help others, we have to transform ourselves. And to be able to transform, we have to follow those 5 principles. So yeah, that's why I believe, if whoever is reading the book, to go back and re reread reread
Reread the
reread.
reread.
See, thank you. See, that's why I hang out with Americans in English, because they help me out. Yes, thank you, Deborah. So yeah, what about you, Deborah? What are your thoughts on it? And yeah, would you like to say anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I liked what you said about the lead magnet, and the difference between trained leaders and transformation leaders are they know, first of all, they know why they lead, but they're also contagious. It's not that, they might influence only today, trained leaders, but transformation leaders will influence today and tomorrow. And that's what becomes contagious. And they actually bring people along with them, to make a difference. It's not that they're just making a difference, but they're making it together. So just have these things kind of running through your mind when you're thinking about whether or not you're a transformational leader. Bless you. It starts off with I do it, and then I do it, and you're with me, and then you do it, and I'm with you, and then you do it, and then you do it, and someone is with you. So that's kind of the track. Like you're leading, bringing someone along, and then you're turning it over for someone else to bring along, and then you move on. So you're really just to bring about change. You're really teaching what you know, and then you're reproducing that in other people, so they can feel significant and make positive changes. And you have to create a positive environment. That's the other thing, because that promotes positive change. If there's negativity, it's just not going to work. But the one key thing is you have to have good values, and you've got to teach those values, because nothing really happens without it. Good values like attitude, commitment, competence, forgiveness, initiative, integrity, personal growth, priorities, relationships, and work ethic. Think about those things when you're trying to, figure out what you want to do and what your number one, your top 5 values are. And then just be really committed to those values, and um, um, having other people do the same. Just to tell you a little bit of a story. There was an amazing transformation in a prison. So there's a lot of things going on in this prison, a lot of prison guards calling out. sick and a lot of fights in the prison. And so someone came in and decided, he was a businessman. He wanted to come in and teach the prison and the prison guards values and character. And so he had a program. He was doing that, and it really, really changed, not just from the administration standpoint, but also how the prisoners treated each other. And it worked so well that he decided to take it even beyond the prison system and make it more of a national program. So people just want to be valued. They want to know that they can be a part of something bigger than themselves, and they want to know that they actually matter. So those are the key things that I think are in the chat. Because when you're trained to a leader, you might know things, but the transformational leader is going to make sure that people are part of that whole process, not just themselves, but other people as well. So anyway, Adita, did you want to give the challenge for the day?
Yes. So I also with those prisoners, I remember there was a murder every day after this training in every 150 or 40 some prisons. There was a murder every day. After this training, there was a murder once a year. So that was really big difference with that. So
It's powerful.
it was a life changer training. But yeah, so let's go to the question. So as I mentioned about the 5 things that transformational leaders do, ask yourself the question. I've heard this from one of our mentors, Mark Colligan, and ask yourself this question, very specific questions. Think about them, write them down on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer, on the paper. I like writing things on a paper. I think I'm old-fashioned, but but I like it. I love writing things on a paper. When my husband, everybody tells me off. But anyway, write those questions because I'm wasting the paper. Anyway, so ask yourself those questions. So question number 1, what am I seeing that others do not see? What am I seeing as a leader that others do not see? The question number 2, what am I saying that others do not say? Question number 3, what do I believe that others people don't believe? And question number 4, what are your feelings? What am I feeling right now that others do not feel? And question number 5, if I'm right, what do you do that others don't? Is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So pretty
Yes.
much we want you to answer the questions from the first part of the book. So what do you see? What do you say? What do you believe? What do you feel? And what do you do?
Yeah, that's great. Think about those things. One last thing I want to say on top of that is that you, as a transformational leader, have to possess a clear picture in your mind of what transformational leaders do and what that looks like. Because if you're trying to make a difference and you don't know what that looks like and what they should be doing, then it's going to be kind of hard. You might be walking around
Yes.
aimlessly. So, yeah, think about these things. We look forward to seeing any comments you have in the chat, and we'll see you next week, same time. And hope you have a great week. Happy Mother's
Thank
Day
you so much.
for everyone that celebrated yesterday. And great to
Oh,
see you
yes.
again, Adita.
Yes. So thank you for watching. And yeah, drop us in a comment. What do you think? And maybe you can answer the questions in a comment. Would be amazing.
Be great. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.